So many messages coming for nothing. All right, guys, welcome to our political reaction today. There's a lot of political discussions, of course, what I've planned to talk about. I just don't know whether we can manage that or not, but we can try as much as we can, all right? So thank you so much for coming in the house. I appreciate you all the time. So whenever you come to watch, please feel free to check also on my other videos that I've dropped earlier. And keep supporting me through likes, comments, and sharing of my videos. Actually, the reality is that when you see lives, it's okay to join me, but you can also check on my videos, because the videos is one thing that I'm really getting to encourage you to also check me out. So thank you so much for showing up. So today, of course, I had thought that Betty Bayo had been buried, only to realize that the Saturday was actually a memorial service. Then Kanyari held his own on Thursday. So we start from somewhere else, and this is the meeting that we finally saw between Kanyari and Betty Bayo's husband. So let's start from there. Okay, I don't know why children thought that the two would fight, but why would they even fight?
Yeah.
Mimi nakuonanga tu. For the first time nimekuona uso kwa uso.
Yeah.
Nakaa vile tu nakuanga social media ama
Yeah.
Uko the same.
Yeah.
Na mimi nakaaje?
the same.
The same.
Hujabadilika.
Yeah.
Hata wewe uko the
Maisha
same.
iko aje?
Maisha iko poa, tunaendelea, thank God for everything. Endelea, tunamshukuru Mungu.
Yeah.
Kai umetoka Amerika pia.
Yes.
Kai, mimi nimefurahi. I have never seen you in my eyes. Lakini
Yeah. Looks nice. How do you feel?
Awesome.
At awesome.
Why is that?
Are you going to fight him?
Fight who?
Dad, Baba.
Why should I fight you?
Yeah. Be a calm
How's it
man.
wrong with me?
No. Danny, hi. Do you know what's going on? Yeah. Now we are almost at the gate.
Yeah, so this was a video that was actually done long ago. Of course, people have resurrected it to bring it back because of what is currently happening. So 9 years ago, we saw the divorce between Kanyari and Betty Bayo. And she came on NTV to open up on some things about the marriage. Let's just check briefly on this as we proceed.
Honestly speaking, I've never watched it. Like, let me be honest. You know, sometimes it's good to be honest. I've never watched it. Yeah, I don't find any reason to watch it. Sometimes it's not good to watch things that discourage.
Right.
Yeah, to guard your own heart.
But when you go out and preach to people, do they ask you about what happened?
Yeah, they do. They do ask me, and I just answer them. Yeah.
Why won't you address it? Because I'm very interested in knowing why you want to address it once and for all.
Yeah. I don't want to address it because it's not the right time. When the right time comes, I'll address it. So just be patient.
So you're
I'm
not...
here. I'm here to stay. I'm in Kenya. And I'm going to do some more videos. I'm here. Of this year, I'm going to come like 4 interviews. I'm having big videos like the one I have like Atasimama. Now God has been so faithful to me, very faithful. So I'm doing more videos. You know, sometimes it's not good to talk about something that is cooking, yeah? You take food to visit fraternity. You can never have a testimony without a test. What when they want the testimony part of God, but not the test. I was perseverance. I was, what do you call it? Just give me the right word. Kizungu imenihepa.
Tumia Kiswahili ama Kisapere?
Kisapere. Giomeredia. Yani nilivumilia. And that's why today I have a testimony. So many people, they don't want that test part of life. They want,
But they want the testimony.
They want the
Sister,
testimony.
preach.
Yes.
Hapo sawa. All right. What else is out there?
Osano here, Osano Kevin says, Betty Bayo should inspire us by being open. She should tell us about her life.
Okay.
Someone's opinion there. And Maisha says, well, yeah, Betty, but wouldn't you just tell us whether or not you still love Kanyari?
Okay. All right.
They're asking.
You still love him?
Yes, I do. Love does not fade away in a day. Yeah.
For
And
how
true
long
love
were you?
is patient.
For how long were you married?
Some several years.
Several si number.
Yeah.
Number ngapi?
And this I just count. I'll count.
All right.
I can't.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you have any others, Christian?
Yeah, speaking of her marriage, Babu Ali says, Umegonga msmari kwenye chuma, I support Bayo. Her marriage life isn't her talent. So, yeah, I guess.
Tuimbe mom. Yeah.
And Lyrical says, Betty, lakini Larry does not take no for an answer. Sema kugrill Betty. And then finally.
Okay, so that was an interview just after she had divorced Kanyari, and she was just trying to reveal that she had gone through so much, and she was trying to stand it, but she couldn't. Now, of course, today is the final send-off for this lady, this honorable lady at Newberry Stadium. So let's look at some videos.
Tuweze kupewa Peter Mbogwa ambaye atakayetusomea. Na naomba
George Mbogwa Kanyedel, raised in a strong Christian home alongside her siblings and extended family. Betty grew into an obedient, hardworking, and loving young girl. Even as a child, she carried a gentle spirit and a willingness to help wherever she could. Betty began her schooling at St. Joseph Nursery School, later joined Guitar Primary School, and completed her primary education at Mehoti Primary in Nyandarua County. She went on to Riara Secondary School, where she completed her KCC
in Riara group
in
of schools.
2004. Her desire to grow led her to train as a hairdresser in Kiambu. She studied video and photography at Imara Studios and later pursued journalism under Jogu Wanjoroge, completing her internship at Kameme FM. At the time of her demise, she was studying for a bachelor's degree in theology at Landmark Theological Baptist Seminary at Ridgeways, Nairobi. We called her Limori. You call her Betty Bayo. And in his perfect wisdom, he has taken her home. May her memory comfort us. May her legacy inspire us. And may her soul rest in peace.
Thank you. Sijui kusoma kizungu sana, lakini nang'ang'ana. Amen. My tribute to the mother of our children, Betty Bayo. How do I even begin to apologize, Betty? 13 years ago, in the middle of our daily Nairobi hustle, fate allowed our path to cross. I met this ever smiling, tiny, shy young girl who's even the busiest of the days. We connect instantly, and within weeks, we couldn't imagine life apart. We would meet, visit each other, share stories about our dreams, and laugh about our struggle. I still remember the humble, small house we lived in, simple, warm but full of hope. But even then, I could already see the big dream in your eyes. One evening, I invited you for a coffee in one of the biggest big hotel in the city, and the rest is history. I was looking for a wife, a companion, a partner, a dreamer, and that is why within just a few months, we are already living as husband and wife. Kusoma hii kitu. Mungu anisaidie. We conceived our first child so quickly after knowing each other. That moment changed everything. We realized life had become serious and we stepped into it together. Before we knew it, we were a parent of 2 charming babies. Every day when I look at our child, I see you. I see your face in our daughter, Beauty, and your spirit and her gentle way. I see myself in her boldness. In Danny, I see my face, but your personality, your softness, your humor, your warmth. That is what love does. It lives through children. It never dies. Had it is fair share of up and down. I know the love you had for our children spoke volume about how much I mattered in your life. You never denied them a father. You never denied them a father. You never poisoned their heart. Kumaliza na maliza ini ya mwisho. Instead, you centered them in love. I used to joke with you whenever the child visited me, telling you, mimi ndio niko. Of course, it was always a lighter note, because deep down I respected the decision you made when you chose to move on with your life. I remember how we both trended years back. You had your story and I had mine. I'm truly sorry that my brand, my name, and my drama put you through difficult moments. Yet, even after all that, you overcome, and we would still laugh about it, saying the brand grew even bigger despite everything. Betty, you are a hardworking woman, a forgiving soul, a loving mother, friend. And above all, a woman who loved God with all her heart. You build your life with grace. You raise our children with humility. You forgive more than most people ever could. And you shop. And you showed the world that pain does not have to destroy you. You can use it to fuel, to climb higher. If there is one thing that pained me deeply, it is knowing that I might have failed you in many ways. But today I make a promise. I promise before God, before Spirit, and before our family, I will not fail our lovely children. I will step up. I'll be present for them. I will guide them. I will educate them and make sure they reach where you always wanted. You may be gone from this world, but you will never be gone from our hearts. Your router, your strength, your voice, your dream, they will live in our children forever.
All right, so that was the tribute by Kanyari. Actually, a very emotional tribute, whereby he was laughing about the mistakes that he did in the marriage between him and Betty Bayo. Of course, we remember the dramas in Kanyari's life. Who will forget about 310 actually, and Iodine? A man who can do that, what can he not do in the house? You know, They say if a man is so dramatic out there, there is more drama in the house, guys. So as much as I saw people when I was doing a video on Betty Bayo, some people are coming here and dropping a comment, actually very much annoyed. I was like, let's forgive and forget. Because if Kanyari has forgiven and forgotten, what about us? Now, yesterday I saw a video from Jackson who was actually revealing a different story, and I was like, how true is this? So Jackson came up with a video saying that Betty Bayo did not die from leukemia, that the husband actually framed that story, but hit her with an alcohol bottle. I don't know. Let's just watch it as we proceed. Let's just see this because I don't know. That is Betty Bayo with the husband. Actually, people are saying girls will be flocking his inbox.
Kwa Betty Bayo guys, sasa hivi kifo cha Betty Bayo imebainika kwamba Betty Bayo aliuliwa kwa kupigwa na chupa ya pombe. Guys, ikiwa imejaa, imagine chupa imejaa pombe. Betty Bayo alikuwa anagomba yake ati bwana yake akampiga chupa ya kichwa na akapasuka kichwa. Guys, ndio sasa wawekelee ugonjwa wa leukemia guys. Guys, Betty Bayo msichana mwenye alikuwa kwenda menona atakufa aje tu baada ya kugonjeka wiki moja, hata kama ni leukemia. Hiyo ni leukemia gani? Hiyo ni leukemia gani? This is the reason why wamekataa kabisa watu wa view mwili wa Betty Bayo. Guys, mshawahi ona wapi guys mtu anakufa na anazikwa bila watu kuview mwili wake? Mshawahi sikia?
Okay, so Jackson made that video after actually following this comment from Lucy Wangari that at some point the husband hit her with a beer bottle behind the head. She took him to the police station, took an OB for the same, and that is when she developed a blood clot in the head. I don't know. That is what we are saying. GBV is a very risky thing. It can kill. It can actually kill.
Na akaanza kubleed na kukufa. Ladies and gentlemen, ni uchungu sana. Ni uchungu guys. Guys, wacha nikuambie. Mimi wakati niliona Gethaiga wameshirikiana na wakina Krisi kwa kanisa ya Kanyari, nilijua my friend something is cooking guys. Nilijua something is cooking. Nilijua something is cooking. What if hii story ni uongo? What if hii story ni uongo? Kwa sababu guys, kuna possibility hii story ikuwe ni uongo na kuna pia possibility ikuwe ni ukweli. Kwa sababu guys, huyu mwanamke kwa jina Lucy Wangari ameelezea vizuri sana, akasema baada ya Betty Bayo kuripoti alipewa OB number. Hiyo ni kitu yenye inajulikana. Lakini vitu zinasema kwa mtandao ni tofauti. Ensure life zetu. My friend, run for your life. Huyu madamu anasema run for your life. After wamekuinsure, wanaendanga wana stage manage kifo chako. Ndio ili ulipwe mamilioni. Bayo alikuwa na mali, alikuwa na maploti zake. Na huyu mwanaume mwenye alikuwa ameolewa na yeye, hawakuwa wamezaa naye mtoto. Hata kama alikuwa analea watoto vizuri, huenda ikawa alikuwa anajifanya kwa sababu alikuwa na hidden agenda.
Miaka 4 na miezi 6 na akakuwa found guilty and he was sentenced to life. We want to know. We want to know where this baby is. We want to know where the parents is. We want to know where Monica is. We want to know what happened in Naivasha. We want to know if there were other victims, because it is stated clearly that Kanyari used to target children playing outside and he would call them and put them into his house. I believe this is not something that he did for the first time. I believe that doing research and digging more, we will find that Kanyari had targeted children more than just one. Can you imagine if you left the market or left work and you come back and find your neighbor telling you that your child who is 4 years old is walking abnormally? Imagine a 50-year-old forcing himself on a 4-year-old girl. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this man sitting on a pulpit to address us as nabii wa Mungu? Ati sasa kwa hivyo yeye sasa leo ni nabii wa Mungu, leo anakuja kutuambia mambo ya Mungu kama
Sasa hivi Kanyari ameweza kuachia picha nyingine hapo hivyo guys, wakiwa na Betty Bayo, nywele imevurugika, wakiwa kwa lift, wametoka kwa hoteli kukulana. My friend, kama ni hiyo American Embassy ama hiyo American government, my friend, hey, atapigana nayo head on. Watoto wake hakuna mali wanaenda.
Okay, so of course there is information saying that the children of Kanyari will actually stay with this guy. I don't know how practical this is. I've not actually followed up very carefully, but I don't think when the father is still alive, even though Kanyari has been indicated to have actually been peddle, we call it peddle or something, following up small kids and a kind of raping them or something like that. But is that enough to actually stop him from owning his own children, Sky and Victor? I'm not so sure about that. But let's check on the how Keha, Sky, Tash, and Danny Makiora were actually viewing the body of their mother before it was actually it's put to rest.
Can pass your
So death seems so unreal. As some of you know, my mother is very strong, and the sickness started with small headaches, and after that it got so severe she had to go to a small hospital nearby our house. The rest is too painful to explain. My mother was in severe pain, yet she tried to smile for us. I remember the words I told her like it was yesterday. I told her that when we saw her in AAR, she came out with on a hospital bed, like tubes all around her mouth and nose. And I only saw her for like 2 minutes because like there were so many people there. But then I forced myself into the ambulance to like talk to her alone. I told her that we miss her and we love her, and it's so sad to come back home to not see your mom there anymore because she's sick in the hospital. I used to come to school telling myself when I come back home I'll see mom. You know, she used to have a favorite like spot where she would sit down. So I would always imagine come back home and see her there. But I never saw her. I never saw her. But she wasn't able to talk back. She wasn't able to move, but tears ran down her cheeks, and she tried her best to talk back and tell me things, but she wasn't able to tell me. It's hard to see your mother on a hospital bed with many tubes coming in and out of her mouth. Of her mouth, and trying to fight for her life.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done.
tutulie tuweze kusikiza Dani. Tafadhali kwa heshima tu tuweze kutulia.
To get ready for a trip or a little adventure. Those moments made me feel special and seen. I loved the way you called my name, how you made me laugh, and how your hugs made everything feel right again. I will never forget our adventures, especially Dubai. The roar of the Ferrari race track. With you, life deeply and joyfully. You filled our days with.
What was
courage
happening?
and curiosity. But more than memories, you give us values. You give us a strong spirit, a tender heart keeps us anchored. Those gifts will always stay with me forever. I will miss your voice, your smile, and your warm embrace every single day. Even though you're not here with me now, I carry your love everywhere I go. I promise to look after my dad. You proud. Thank you, Mom, for loving me so completely, for filling my life with joy. Those moments I'll always treasure. Your love is always my guiding light. You fought against leukemia. I will never forget you. Your love will always be my guiding light. I will love you forever in my heart always. And with the love from Daniel, I will always remember you. And I always tell myself every single day, crying won't change a thing. The only thing I can do is make her proud.
Yeah, so the son said that crying for the mother won't change a thing, but actually doing great things will actually survive. And I hope that these orphans are not just seeing the crowd and saying this, but maybe the words will live in their life, because actually when you become an orphan, there are moments when you need your mother really just to sit you down as the mother and talk to you. And that love cannot be filled by anybody else. So I just hope that indeed these kids are going to focus, and with the resources available, they are going to be able to achieve as much as their mother wanted to have them achieve in life. And we actually just have to wish the best for them, because that funeral was very emotional. It's a very emotional one. I'll be showing you how Rose Mwando also reacted to that. Meanwhile, let's look at political, the political class attending the funeral. Kindiki went himself to the funeral, but GACHAGUA sent a troop. So let's be checking on both and see what is happening. So let's see this.
From the musicians tusaidiane. Kwa hivyo mimi sitaki kuongea kuzidi hapo, na washukuru. I will stay on the message of the day. Na mimi kama hiyo account imetengenezwa, mimi na mke wangu na familia yangu nitachangia pamoja na wale wengine shilingi milioni 5 ya kusaidia hao watoto. Vile na niambiwe the account number, I'll transfer the money immediately. Sio mambo ya siku mingi. I just need the account number, I'll wire the money.
You are really sure that you can wire 5 million just like that? Anyway, if that is something that can happen, it's good for the children. And I also hope that those who are going to manage these kids, especially Sky, who is already replacing the mother in the brand, will actually make it in, having the finances running through her life. It's unfortunate that sometimes when orphans lose their parents, the family sometimes takes advantage, or even some companies which are in charge of them take advantage of them. So guys, let's check on what more happened in this funeral. Of course, GACHAGUA sent his team, and I really want to see what they shared here. But meanwhile, let's check on Kindiki's promise.
Vile wakati nilikuja hapa, nilikuwa njiani, nimepigia rais simu, amenituma pia ni wasalamie, na vile amesema katika hiyo trust, kwa sababu nilikuwa nimeongea na mheshimiwa wa Mumbi na wale waheshimiwa wa hapa Kawanjiko, na hata tulikuwa na hiyo habari. Kwa hivyo hata rais pia amesema kwa hiyo trust fund ya family ya marehemu dada yetu atachangia kwa elimu ya watoto na shilingi milioni 5.
Alright. So those are 10 million, which is good. So in Kenya there is money. So guys, in Kenya there's money, but I really feel happy when they help a family like this one, because when a parent is lost, and remember BAYO, it was one of the brands working so hard for the family, then there is a gap that is formed. And again, when we look at what happened on the other end, there is a problem. Anyway, let's look at Betty Bayo's mother-in-law and what she shared here before we come to the team of GACHAGUA. Then we'll be checking on Rose Muhando too.
Hawa ndio watu wameguzwa sana. Huyu ndiye mzazi wa Gitau, na ni vyema ile heshima. Simama tu hapa mama.
Bwana asifiwe. This is the tribute from Mom. When you found our family, you came with such humility, respect, and warmth. From that day, our relationship has always been good, and I thank God for the peace and love you brought into my home. You were not just a daughter-in-law. You became my daughter, and your brilliant children became my grandchildren. You always came to visit me, and every time you stepped in my house, you brought right. You came a gentle spirit. You came a gentle spirit. We shared the word of God together. We prayed together, and those moments will forever remain close to my heart. When you became unwell, I prayed for healing. I trusted God, and He heard every prayer. When you became unwell, I prayed healing. I trusted God. He heard every prayer. But in His wisdom, He chose to heal you completely by calling you into eternal life. It gives me peace to know that you are resting in the arms of the Lord. For you truly were a faithful Rose Muhando.
All right, so Rose Muhando, of course, attended the funeral for Betty Bayo. Remember, they also worked together at some point, and let's just listen to what she says right here, because this is one of the very important people who actually celebrated a life with her. So let's check on Betty, on what Rose Muhando says here.
Asante sana. Mwamba wenye imara wakoni tajificha majiha na damu yaliyo toka Namshukuru Mungu kunipa nafasi kufika hapa. Nilienda nyumbani nikafika hapa saa 6 mchana. Betty amekuwa rafiki kwangu, ni ndugu yangu pia. Kati ya watu ambao wamechangia maisha haya nilionayo kwa sasa. Ndiye nikiwa pale kwa nganga, Betty ndio alikuja kunichukua pamoja na Shiro akanipeleka hospitali.
kisha Anastasia Mukapwa ndio aliongoza hilo jopo lote. Kwa hiyo mkiniona niko mzima leo, Boti alichangia kwa kiasi kikubwa. Niliona si vema nikae nyumbani na watu wangu, lakini nilikuja. Nimekuja kuomboleza pamoja na ninyi na kumwaga rafiki yangu na waimbaji wengine kutoka nyumbani. Pole sana. Na mimi pia nilitumwa na watoto wangu wa kuwazaa, wamesema mama uende, bila yeye kujua uende hospitali gani usingekuwa hivi ulivyo. Sina cha kusema. Maumivu yangu wajua Yesu, changu kikufikia Yesu, karibu kwangu,
to shed tears because of your friends.
So that was a very emotional tribute from Rose Muhando. Now I want to check on the team of GACHAGUA. Actually, that team was sent here. So aspect are also in the limelight. So let's check on GACHAGUA's team and what they actually did here. And of course, the doctor shared what was there. So I don't know when Jackson came up with that comment on a bottle of beer, a mixture that I'm not so sure about. So meanwhile, as I look for the video on the team from GACHAGUA's end, let's check on the doctor's report here.
We didn't have a diagnosis. Why? Because AML is a disease that by the time inakupatia the first ambayo acute myeloid leukemia ambayo ni kansa ya damu, wakati inakupatia first symptom inakuanga ni hiyo uchovu, kuumwa na kichwa, na inamaanisha kiwango ya damu imeenda chini. Lakini hiyo wakati imeenda chini inamaanisha nao tushapita stage 1, tushapita stage 2, tushapita stage 3, tuko end stage. So tuko point of bone marrow failure. And when we did the first transfusion, I called Garuye even na kaniambia mambo iko sawa na tuko baya. We were doing well, and even then she was discharged because we didn't have a diagnosis. At night she got worse. When she got worse, she was which was AR, na nitawaomba sana wale madaktari wa AR walijaribu wawezavyo. I feel so bad. Hata wananiuliza ndio tulikuja ukatuambia tusaidiane hapa na sasa social media inajaa sisi inakaa mbaya, but they did their best. When we got to the first question tuliulizana, damu inaenda wapi? Gondo anaweza kuambia tuliketi na Ghana. Before we even approach this any further, why are we here? Tukaangalia all possibilities, na ndio tukasema damu tutapata, and blood bank ikatuassure we shall get at least 9 pints of platelets. Kutengeneza 1 dose of platelet for wale tulikuwa nayo inahitaji 6 liters of blood. 6 liters of blood ni yenye mtu mmoja amebeba. So tukafika point ambayo hatungeweza hata kusustain na blood bank. Ikabaki tunaleta donors, unatolewa damu pande, inaoshwa na machine, tunaweka kwa beti. Ndio at least now we save because mwenye ako high bone marrow ina. So tukaendelea hivyo, and we agreed with the doctors that tuangalie why are we not losing these platelets at this rate. So the first test you do is a peripheral blood film, what we call PBF. It's a complicated test. Kwa hivyo tutapata majibu lini? asubuhi at 3 a.m. I was called when the hospital kaniambia daktari, mambo imebadilika and we are dealing with AML, acute myeloid leukemia. And wakati tulijipata in that situation, that means that no matter how much platelets we put, the bone marrow is not producing. And if it produces the little, the body has already entered autoimmune situation. Kwa hivyo mwili imeanza kujipiga. So how do we stop this process? To stop this process was we induce chemotherapy.
Okay, the long explanation is too hard to understand, but I'm checking on the video to show the team of GACHAGUA. I don't know whether it's currently there.
The family of our late lovely sister, Betty Bayo. Emmanuel Lawrence, God bless you so much.
Ndumberi Stadium.
God bless you so much. Just with these people, all because of the love we had for Betty, God bless you. You may be seated. I want to call all the bishops, please stand up. Wale wote katika kiwango ya bishop. Kitambo tuokote hii sadaka anarudi hapa, naomba bishop anikubalie nifanye hii kwa haraka. Tembeeni tu kwa
Ukota sadaka.
Of a father who cared for Betty while she was alive, and even in death, she is still your daughter. Sio watu wengi wanaweza kubali kwenda gharama hii yote kwa sababu ya mshirika. I am one of the bishop who advocates for further relationship between their shepherd and the congregation.
Kati ya watu ambao wamechangia maisha haya nilionayo kwa sasa, ni yeye. Nikiwa pale kwa Ng'ang'a, Betty ndio alikuja kunichukua pamoja na Shiro akanipeleka hospitali. Kisha Anastasia Mukapwa ndio aliongoza hilo jopo lote. Kwa hiyo mkiniona niko mzima leo, Betty alichangia kwa kiasi kikubwa.
What's happening? The network is poor.
Go well, my dear Betty, forever in my heart.
And the great honor, we will miss you for everything you have become, not forgetting your pet name in the family, Nimole. Once again, we are heartbroken. We have not yet understood why you did not stay with us longer. We had hoped that you will fight the health challenges with courage, emerge victorious, as you have always done. But we realized that this time you took the last bow. Though it appeared to us like an impossibility, it is slowly dawning on us that you have left us, not to return back to the family. We love you so much. We miss you, our beautiful sister.
For honoring this honorable church. And now I'm going to give my tribute. read my tribute to my dearest wife. There is a silence in our home now that echoes. There is a silence in our home now that echoes. It is a heavy, profound quiet where your laughter used to live. My soul knows a new, raw footprint, a landscape of loss shaped entirely by your absence. In losing you, I have lost the compass by which I navigated the world. The pain is a constant, no harm. I find myself turning to share a thought with you, only to find empty space. I reach for you in the night and find cold sheets. The small sacred rituals of our life, the shared glances over the children's heads, the soft conversations after long days, the simple act of carrying a moment of facial care together are now aching memories. I am a man learning to walk with a weight he can never put down. But hear this, my love, and hold it close in your internal rest. My commitment to our children is now the very engine of my life. They are our living legacy, the most precious pieces of you left on this earth. I want you to a divine peace in your spirit, because my commitment to you, for our children, Sky and Denise, starts that I will always respect their decisions to the best of their interest, while also
both men interest of the children.
Jealously guarding the
Ready to lead the future of AI and business with a doctorate? Join the doctorate in business administration in AI.
I will guard their hearts with a ferocity you would recognize. I will be fortress against the world's storms, ensuring they never doubt for a single moment that they are cherished, wanted, and adored.
You to let me go home. You hesitated to let me go, but we finally agreed on it. You didn't stop there, but you built a modern home for me to make sure my life was comfortable. Down the line, you suggested that you wanted me to travel to America, where I'm currently located. Your life may have been short, but you beautified my life more than I could ever imagine. I know even in your grave, you are still concerned about me.
There are people that comes into your life and God normally gives them to you as a gift. Hawa huyu ndivyo ilivyokuwa kwako. Ulisimama naye, nilisikiza akisema ya kwamba even when hana njia, hana wezi akaomba, on a daily basis uliamkia kwake kumuombea. Mungu akubariki sana. Na mtumishi wa Mungu,
ni maneno ya kinywa chenu, maneno mnayotunenea kimzahamzaha. Ninasema wewe huwezi endelea, kwetu hakuna mtu anaweza inuka. Nikwambie ukweli, kunaye nguvu katika maneno. I would like to welcome Florence Today I want to release this grace one more time. I want to release this grace to you one more time.
Lucy Washira said hi, hello.
She remained and will remain forever a jewel in our lives. Such a beautiful soul, a minister of the gospel, a singer, a mother, a wife, a friend to many. Today, brethren, we are deeply one of us, a servant of God together with us. She traveled with me almost in every county as a minister.
All right, guys, so that is the tribute and the send-off for Betty Bayo. Of course, she will be put to rest. And Gachagua's team was on. He had contributed 300,000. Yeah, 300,000 Kenyan shillings towards the funeral. And now the president and Kindiki are promising to send 10 million towards the family. I hope they honor their promise. I hope they honor their promise. I want us to go to the president's promises to Kenyans. Edward Solomon, hello. Lucy Washira, hello. Now I want us to come to a different aspect. I wouldn't want to have mixed this, but then it's just necessary that I do so. So, of course, the country has been going through this moment as a day where the president should talk about the achievements and the failures in his government. But when you look at the interview at Al Jazeera, our president will not talk about failures. He will automatically say he has scored 8 out of 10. But I insist it is 3 out of 10. Now let's just go through some different views of the people in different places. I saw the people in different places, including Nairobi, Taita Taveta, among other places, indicating what they have experienced in this. And maybe let's start from here.
Walipo kimataifa. Rais atazungumzia ziara zake ambazo amekuwa akizifanya mara kwa mara katika mataifa ya Ghuba, mataifa ya Marekani na mataifa ya Ulaya. Je, ziara hizi zimekuwa na manufaa gani? Na zile za humu Afrika, tumewaona viongozi wa Afrika wakija hapa Kenya kuweka mikataba. Hivi punde kabisa akiwa rais wa Senegal ambaye alikuja humu nchini Kenya. Je, mikataba kama hii inamfaidi vipi Mkenya? Na je, Mkenya ambaye yupo kule nje analindwa vipi? Tukizungumzia ulinzi wa Wakenya, tumeona Wakenya wakitekwa na kufungiwa kwa takriban siku kadhaa. Na kule Tanzania ambapo pia kumekuwa na uchaguzi, rais mwenyewe alizungumzia kauli ya kusema ni vigumu Afrika kupata kura ya 96%, lakini wapo Wakenya ambao wapo Tanzania na mpaka sasa hivi hatima yao haijulikani ni ipi. Karibu sana, tutakuwa tukiangazia mustakbali wa taifa, darubini ya taifa, ambayo tutakuwa tukifuatilia hotuba yake Rais William Ruto ambayo anatarajiwa kuisoma leo adhuhuri. Mimi naitwa Suleiman Yeli, na ni miaka mitatu sasa tangu Rais William Ruto achukue hatamu za uongozi. Ajenda ya mfumo wa bottom up ambao hapo awali ilitangazwa kama mabadiliko makubwa kwa taifa la hasla, sasa ajenda hiyo inaonekana kutetereka. Kile kilichouzwa kama suluhu kwa mama mboga, waendesha bodaboda na wapambanaji wadogo sasa kinayeyuka na kubadilika kuwa mazungumzo na madeni matarajio yaliyopo ndoto zilizowekwa kando.
Yeah, so of course if you interview a citizen in Kenya, all they can see is that there are a lot of challenges because even if you talk about other things in a country, if economy is ailing people, then there is no way you can convince them that things are better. And I think our problem in Kenya is actually economic growth, because as far as we are being pushed and told that our country is going to be a first world country, I don't know, maybe it's when we are already dead and gone. And how will that benefit us, for example? Because I want to see something myself again currently. So it's unfortunate as the president actually comes to measure, or rather check on the 3 years of performance. But of course, I promise you, you'll be checking on the speech he will be delivering in the evening. And he will be actually talking about the rise of the dollar. He will be talking about the shares in the stock, how Kenya has done well. He will be talking about the markets he has built. He will talk about the housing, those houses that he has constructed all over the place. But a common citizen doesn't understand. Like even me as a civil servant, they are actually trying to take my salary all along. How is it going to benefit me? Now, we are also going to see him talking about hospitals. And when you check on health, it's one of the things that is ailing us. Sometimes even as a civil servant, you get sick and you hesitate to go to hospital because you know they'll just give you the normal medication. They don't want to go to an extent where they'll give you very good quality medication, because there is a limitation of how much money you have to use when you go to hospital. All right. Now, unfortunately, if you fall sick like thrice in a week, you cannot be treated because there is a limitation of how much you can use and how often you can use. That when you get to SHA, I've not even attempted to use SHA, but I've just heard whenever I go to hospital, I've just been hearing a lot of patients being told that is not serving. So I just don't know, because I'm trying to check on the reality about what the Kenya has achieved, especially through the government, and what it's yet to achieve. And there is a lot to actually desire. Like when he talks about 100,000 teachers being hired by January, but then he says there is no money to confirm the already hired teachers on internship. It becomes a very big question, because now, how do we understand, for example, what is going on? How do you convince these teachers that it's impossible when at the same time there's a lot of money that is being dished out there? 100,000 to AIC charge, 50,000 I don't know to who, these thousands to this. The State House meetings ate a lot of money. You know, for me as a common citizen, you may tell me that there's no money in Kenya, but then how do I understand when all these things are going on? When you look at tax, they have eaten into our pockets until even when you receive salary today, I'm assuring you in 2 days I'll not have that money. Yeah, I'll not have it. I take a loan. Even when I'm doing construction, I cannot finish because there is inflation even in prices of goods. When I'm supposed to pay laborers who are working for me, I should pay a lot of money. When I'm transporting material to the construction end, I should pay a lot of money. So it doesn't add up. Now, I don't know whether the boda bodas and Mama Mboga have also benefited, because even Mboga itself for us, from 5 shillings to 10. I don't know if there is any county where they're still actually selling vegetables worth 5 shillings. They currently are selling at 10. Yeah. So let's check on something else here. There is something I want to talk about here. So we are just waiting for the speech of the president, but I'm trying to collect
I sold over 200 books on
views
Amazon
all
last
over
month
the
using
place
one
about
tool,
this.
and it changed everything for me. I can create any nonfiction book in under 30.
Je, tukiangalia kwa mtazamo tu ambao ni kamilifu na kwa sababu Kiingereza hii walimu wanasema by January wanagoma. Hizo vitu angalie sana. Kama kuna kitu anataka asicheze nayo ni elimu.
Nilisikia juzi akisema kwamba uchumi unaendelea kupanda. Unapandaje na unga bado haujawahi kushuka, chakula akijawahi kushuka. Sasa ile kitu angefanya ni kwanza alishe watu wake. Serikali ni ile inaangalia watu wake kiafya, kimasomo, watoto wao wasome. Bas
kiangalia.
Welcome to 3 on AI. AI-powered higher order thinking.
Indian Ocean wanataka sijui kuichukua manini. Haistahili majirani wao wanaishi hivyo. Yeye kama rais inastahili asimame na nchi yake na atetee nchi yake, mipaka yote ya Kenya.
That is narrow for you.
Unaona mandugu zetu ma Tanzania pale wanatezwa, Uganda pale wanatezwa. Asijajua ni nini iko shida katika mpaka hiyo. So rais wetu wa Kenya, sababu wewe ndio kiongozi wetu na ndio tunakutarajia, tunakuomba utulinde hata sisi tukiwa taifa hizo, maana hata hawa wengine wa Tanzania wako hapa na pia wa Uganda wako hapa. Hawako safe Kenya, lakini nashindwa sisi tunalia pale kusikia wale kwa nchi zingine kama Qatar, wengine wanaletwa kama wamekufa na sijui ni nini wanaua.
Ruben Motochi, runinga ya Citizen. Serikali yenyewe bado haiangalii masuala hao. Tukiangalia katika nchi yetu kama jirani, Wakenya wenzetu ambao wako nchi jirani wanadhulumiwa na serikali yetu imenyamaza. Kitu kama serikali ya Mheshimiwa Rais Ruto anatakiwa alinde mwananchi wa Kenya ambaye yuko Kenya na ambaye yuko nje.
Gharama ya maisha kwanza aongelee kuhusu uchumi. Nilisikia juzi ya
serikali haiwatumiki watu, na kama haiwatumiki watu kumaanisha kwamba priorities ziko mbaya. So, ndugu yangu ameniambia kwamba nilikuja. Mimi ninalala nje ya Kenya, ninaingia asubuhi. Ni vizuri tu kabla siendelee nimwambie saa 8:30 John Kamau atakuwa anahutubia taifa katika maeneo ya bunge. Itakuwa ni William Ruto. Kwa hivyo tujaribu sana kuzungumzia yule ambaye atakuwa anatoa hotuba. Hilo litawasaidia wananchi sana. Nyumbani. Zile pesa ni nyingi sana. Ile ushuru ambayo tunachukua kila mwaka ya housing levy ambayo tunapeleka katika manyumba ambayo ninashuku ya kombe ataishia tu kwa majengo ambayo hayatakuwa na Wakenya ambao wanaishi pale. Tumeona ya kwamba watu wanafanya miradi katika taifa la Kenya, lakini wapata haimsaidii mwananchi yote. Unaweza ukajenga jumba lina manyumba karibu 1,000 zenye utataka, lakini hakuna Mkenya anataka kuishi pale kwa sababu hawezi afford na haiendani na kuja na amakinike kwa kiasi. Hali mbaya tu katika hali ya madeni. Walikimbia na mambo ya madeni sana, lakini tukiingia
Yeah, so when you look at our economy, actually, for me, even if you are going to write a whole book about the improvement of our economy or improvement or fulfillment of the promises, the only thing that I will wait for is to see that actually I can live without struggling. The moment I'll actually live in a house without, for example, as a civil servant, am I able to take a loan and build my house and actually sustain myself in terms of agriculture, plant some beans, maize, rare animals, and have a comfortable life. Even before that one of low class makes it. Because again, these affordable houses they are talking about, how much is rent? When they are talking about the fact that those who have work are blessed, and therefore they should build for those who cannot. How true is it that these houses are going to those people? Yeah. Look at the aspect of hospitals. How true is it that Kenyans who are working are able to finance those who are not working and have them get health? And now, when you talk about those who are not working, what do you mean? Because we have people in this country, they are not working in offices. They don't have a salary, but they keep selling and buying goods. For example, someone goes, buys goods and places in their shop, and they survive so well. So when you talk about us now financing them, and yet some of them actually are able even to lend us money. They are the ones who lent us money when we are at the lowest time. So what are you talking about? Yeah, there are border borders who make a lot of money in this country. Like they go for a trip, like they go for 3 trips in a day. And those 3 trips, maybe they are paying them, let's say 200 shillings times 3. That is 600. That's equally like a salary. Why can't the leaders actually make a way in which these people just keep their money well so that they save and make investments instead of now deciding to overtax the civil servant? You are giving them a very big burden that makes them not to grow. How can you again make civil servants who are straining to pay health for other workers when the country can actually collect money that is taken from fines and bonds and something like that and have a kitty towards old people's health, for example? I don't understand, actually. Now, let's see. The State House address is yet to happen. Let's follow through to see what is happening in State House. I hope I'm chasing my Hindi.
At particular time, the president is expected to arrive at the National Assembly presence and ready to address the joint sitting of Parliament after being ushered in by the 2 speakers of the bicameral Parliament. You can see the band are doing what they know best. They'll be mounting a guard of honor where the president will be inspecting that guard of honor mounted in his honor. And after the inspection of that guard of honor, he'll be to make his way into the Parliament presence, where he'll be engaging the speakers of the National Assembly and the Senate, and speaking about Dr. Moses Wetangula from the National Assembly and Honorable Speaker Moses Amason Jeffa Kingi of the Senate. This being a joint sitting of both houses of Parliament, the CS4 Treasury, the CS4 Trade, among other cabinets. Article 132, subsection 1C of the Constitution further provides that the President shall, among others, every once a year report in an address to the nation all the measures being taken to ensure that the progress in the realization of the national values referred to in Article 10 of the Constitution.
Stop taking meeting notes and let ClickUp AI Note Taker do it
ClickUp
for you.
AI.
It allows you to
Leave me
focus on your
alone.
meetings, not your
Constitution. And upon looking at sharing, evolution of power, the rule of law, democracy, participation, transparency, and accountability. On your screens, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Professor Kithure Kindiki, has arrived. He is already being received by the DCI boss, the inspector, as well as a host of the top security bosses in the country. And the arrival of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya indicates that any moment from now, we'll be expecting the President, 15th, or this is the 15th rather. A number of presidents have made their State of the Nation address before President these values of national unity. And let's now have a look at these values, the public service values, that values and principles of good governance. They include the high standards of professional ethics, efficient and effective economic use of resources, responsible, prompt,
What is this? All right. So we are waiting for the address from the president.
Geoffrey Mosiri has officially been fired as the work of the ministry. And this day, we mourn. After this, you'll have every minute, every hour.
We will actually have a moment of listening to the speech. Maybe I'll do another video on that. But currently, of course, SHA is trouble. Education, there is a lot of trouble, even that which the government just made the other day when it comes to fee payment. We saw the lecturers on strike for a whole, was it a whole month plus? We have seen a lot of problems, even though roads and markets, some have been made, not all. Even though housing has been done, how is it benefiting me? You know, personally, I'm still living in a rental house, but my tax is being taken to buy a house, or rather make others live in a comfortable home. And I don't think those who are targeted are the ones who are going to live in those houses. At the end of the day, the rich, or maybe those people are coming from Somalia or whatever, they are the ones who will live in those houses because that as such. So anyway, let's wait and see what will happen. But there is something that Pierre Lumumba shared, and I want us to finish with that as we cover our story. We finish with this.
They have to be wasted, but there is no money to pay our lecturers. There is no money. Really.
Pepeta, leave me alone.
Mr. Pepeta, Manzili Muna sector. Look at who are dominating our retail. If business is Uber from San Francisco and Bolt from Estonia, if it is in the supermarket space, it's Carrefour from France. If it is transportation on motorbikes, it's Glovo from Spain. If it is security, it's Gadawal from Quebec. These are the realities. And when I'm told that the Kenyan economy is growing, where is it growing?
So Kenya doesn't have a hold on its economy?
We don't.
Doesn't have a hold on its infrastructure?
No, we don't. Look at even matters as mundane as sewer construction in Nairobi is to a Chinese company. We've been producing civil engineers since the 1960s. Where are they? Where are they that they cannot build bridges? Where are they? And this money leaves our country, and we are not for one moment saying that they should not. The IEBC is telling the world we cannot run elections, we have no money. The evidence is there. The evidence speaks for itself. And you see, if we were to admit that there is a problem in our country, we would work jointly. A month ago, I was in Abuja, Nigeria, and there was a leading Kenyan politician present there with only 4 of his 8. And he told the audience, I came by private jet, which I suspect is paid for by taxpayers.
Said this in your presence?
In my presence. Private jet from Kenya to Abuja in Nigeria. Helicopters dominate our airspaces from Fridays attending funerals by public officials. Money is there to be wasted, but there is no money to pay our lecturers. There is no money to pay salaries. You drive across Nairobi below the expressway. The roads are dilapidated. I lived in this city. Garbage is uncollected. The sewer lines are breaking. That is the state of our country. A great country. Still a good country, which we must make good and great. But the level of arrogance in political power in this country is
is without comparison. I've been around.
PLO, it's very painful listening to what you've just said. I mean, it paints a picture because sometimes within the media space, there's always this question of it's not all dark and gloomy, and there are other good things happening. If you look at the newspaper in front of you, the Standard is reporting we're in a Shylock economy. Look at the Star. Governance to face EACC over dubious county hustlers funds. Then you've got a Homa Bay governor here, for example, the sports as wage bill jumps by 400 million. You earlier said there are counties that are operating with 300 bank accounts, 400 bank accounts, one county, and money is embezzled into all this. You look at the Business Daily, fake 39 billion supplier bills exposed in City Hall audit. This is from the control of budget. Nairobi blames inflated lawyers' bills and state debt. You look at the Daily Nation, again, same thing. Cabinet secretaries on early campaign trail, and several ministers are openly dabbling in partisan politics, including House speakers. This is the state of the nation. At what point do we say enough is enough? And is there, because we've been here long enough, have we reached a boiling point yet? Because where they have gone over and beyond. A few weeks ago, we saw what happened in Nepal. And it was a build-up of corruption issues where officials are taking their children abroad for further studies, where they are buying expensive cars, expensive clothes, expensive jewelry. And there is this show and arrogance, like you said, of what are you going to do? There's opulence. Money is flowing.
Yeah, so guys, when you listen to this, when you talk about it, some people say, what are you saying? There's no money in Kenya. When we talk about it on our channels, and we say that there's a lot of money in Kenya, but only that is getting into few hands, and actually people feel that opulence just to show around and prove to others that, yeah, we qualify to have this because we actually paid you to become who we are. So when you look at that, then you look at what the president is going to address, and you are like, what exactly is he going to tell us? Because evidence is all over the place that there is no progress that has been made. And if there is, it's very, we call it negligent, So anyway, let's hear what this guy will say, Pierre Lumumba, and close the chapter, guys.
Corruption. How can the EACC stop you from being evil? When you hear that there are 400 accounts and 400 million to be expended on budgets, and you go to those spaces, and what we see is what in Kiswahili is called Kinimacho, Governors Conference. What was the value? What was the product? How did it benefit Kenyans? How many millions were expended during that particular conference? Just a couple of weeks ago. Just a couple of weeks ago. You now have these conferences about investment. How much is spent and how much investment comes. We have all these jamborees at which monies are expended and opulence is demonstrated. I ask you to go to different parts of Nairobi and different parts of the country and see the kinds of buildings that are rising courtesy of the political class, whose salaries are known, and people are seeing this. We are getting into a space like there was in France in the days of King Louis XIV, where the people are saying, we want bread, and Marie Antoinette, the wife, says, if they don't have bread, give them cake. Little did she know that they actually have nothing to eat. They cut off her head eventually. And their throats were cut. When you see it being said, Shylock economy, the women will tell you in this country what is keeping us alive are chamas. The circles are also being looted.
Okay, guys, that is the very dark state of affairs in our country as we wait for the president's speech. So I'll end there. Thank you so much for watching our channel. Continue supporting us, and I will also urge you to watch my videos, which are not on live, but just on videos. So bye-bye for now. Let me go do some other task before I come back to you. Thank you so much. May God bless you. Acha nianue hiyo nini mahindi.